It doesn't stop. Like we said yesterday, this is just the beginning of the absolute just shit show that is about to come out. Nikki's part. What do you want me to? You can help you.
Sorry,
You can let yourself in.
Sorry.
You know how to do it. Yeah, this is just the start of the absolute shit show that is about to be the David Sullivan story. The Panorama documentary was not it, because what has come out today has just absolutely sickened me to my core with this football club. It's been revealed by the BBC that David Sullivan, the owner of West Ham United, until about a month ago, a Premier League football club, has for the last 3 years been banned from any contact with the ladies team and the youth team under safeguarding measures by the FA and West Ham United. That means that this man who owned our football club was deemed not safe to be around our women and our children. And this has been wrapped up and kept quiet for the last 3 years. And the fact that Karen Brady, we're going to talk about her. She's come out with her lawyers and said, this has got nothing to do with me. And she's kept quiet on that. Someone that advocates herself as a champion for women worked and protected this man's reputation and hid this, who is unsafe to be around our women's team. The IFR who are investigating, there is no other outcome that they can come out with that he is not a fit and proper owner. How can you be fit and proper when you cannot be around women and children at this club? I am absolutely baffled by that, mate. That has stunned me.
Has it stunned me? Yeah, it has a little bit. The thing that stunned me about it, Dan, and I'm going to tell you what stunned me about it, is the fact that it was covered. The FA knew. The club knew. The club knew. Yeah. When you say about Karen Brady, an advocate for women's rights, and I mean, I always question that anyway, because of the industry of where the man made the money, where it came from, if that makes sense. So, like, you know, you can't be an advocate for women's rights if you're basically spent the last 30 years working for a porn baron. And that's what he is. He's a porn baron, and he's an admitted porn baron. I sent you a video today. I don't know whether you watched it, but you could give that interview a watch, because there's things in the middle of that you know, it explains a lot of stuff. And it doesn't surprise me, Dan. It doesn't surprise me, but it's just it's all coming out now, you know. And it's one of these things where we knew there was, you know, things to the level of coming. And I've seen one of the victims on Twitter, you know, come out and say this is the tip of the iceberg. And I think the FA need to answer some questions now, if I'm honest. I think the FA need to answer some questions, because if this has been, you know, at the end of the day, I don't mean this to be rude, but if he's safeguarded against women's and children's teams, why hasn't he been banned from the stadium? You know, why has he been allowed to, you know, I know he owns it, but why is he allowed to walk around the stadium?
He has
women and children
countless women working for him. Not just that in the football players, but there are women who work on a match day. And I know women that work in those lounges. I've known women that work in those executive suites and things like that. You know, so he's around women that work under him. He's deemed not safe for safeguarding reasons. Safeguarding. And that's what like I said, nothing to do with Sullivan shocks me. But for the FA to have known about this for years, keep it quiet, take no action against him. No, you can't be around women and children, but you can run a football club. You can run a Premier League football club. You just can't be around the women's team or the children's team. That is the suggestion and the ramifications of that is absolutely madness. And they've had now that the people that are coming out to speak against this, there was a spokesman for the Prime Minister. And again, I'm not here to get into politics and what you think about anyone, but that is a big deal. There is people from various departments of state that comment on this. But Karen Brady's comment is absolutely floored me, this one. So Karen Brady was facing calls to tell all she knew about the accusations against David Sullivan. And through her lawyers, she's come out and sent out this legal letter. Our client's position is she should not be included in any publication alongside allegations made against Mr. Sullivan, given they do not relate to her. Now, this relates to you, Karen. This relates to you. And you've worked with a man for many years. You're a witness. You could potentially be a key witness. So there's no leave me out of it, love. You're involved in not that you've done anything wrong.
Listen, I might be wrong about this, but weren't she and Tara Warren running the women's team? Is that not right? I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
I remember Jack Sullivan was in charge of it. His dad was deemed not safe, but I don't know.
I remember Jack Sullivan being part of it. I also remember him being part of the documentary. I don't know how long ago that was, but I'm pretty sure somebody may be able to do. I'm asking a question here. I'm not accusing anyone, but I'm sure they was in charge of it. I'm sure at least Tara Warren was in charge of it. Let me just Google it.
So what are you trying to say? What point are you making?
Well, if Tara Warren was working for Karen Brady, then they must have been informed.
Yeah.
If they were running the women's team, they must have been informed that he wasn't allowed near it.
Well, because here's the thing, right? If this and there's no way she didn't know that he wasn't banned from it, right? The safeguarding issues. So what are the safeguarding issues? What did they know about David Sullivan that they deemed him to be not safe around women and children? That's what I want to know. What did they know? Because obviously they knew something. So there's something there that they went, he's not safe to be around women and children. We can't have him around it. He owns the football club.
So this is on Google. So Brady was appointed as the director of the women's team in March 2023, alongside fellow board members Tara Warren and Nicola Key. Nicola Key is the ticketing lady for West Ham.
Mm-hmm.
So if that was in 2023 and it's been 3 years, they would have been well aware that he wasn't allowed nowhere near it. She can't say she didn't know.
Well, there's no one involved in the club, and Karen Brady run the operations of this football club, the day-to-day operations. If your chairman is banned from being around your youth setup and your women's team, you know about it. Everyone would have known about it. And the fact that the boards, right, all the other board members need to take a look at themselves, because they've allowed this man, right, who, yes, the majority shareholder, but their shares combined outvote him. And they've allowed him to continue as the chairman when he was deemed unsafe to be around the children who play for our club in the academy and the women that play for our women's team. And they've let him just carry on as nothing. It took him to resign himself with this all coming public. That's what makes me sick to my stomach. The Golds, Trip Smith, even Kretinsky, all of them need to fucking answer for this. I tell you that much, mate. This is shocking, disgusting.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
It's not good. That's like, because you can't, we can throw Sullivan under the bus all we like, but this isn't just on Sullivan. This is on everyone that knew about that, because to have someone like that running in charge of a Premier League football club who's not allowed to be around women and children in this club, it says it all. And that's if this IFR, I will just say this, if this IFR do not come to the conclusion that he is not fit and proper and must sell his shares, then I call them out as corrupt. It's corruption, because there's no way he's fit and proper if he's got safeguarding issues with women and children. No,
Listen, it might just be safety things, because I think someone said there was it 2023 that he was in the police station. Obviously, them investigations may not have come to a head yet. I don't know, but I don't know the details of everything. I can't comment too much, but I'm just saying what I've heard, and what I've heard.
Someone contradict what I've just said, though.
No.
If you're deemed to not be safe to be around these people, how can you be in charge of a football club? If children that play for our team are not safe around him, how can he be there in a match day with all the mascots that go around? The women, he's not safe to be around our ladies team. How is he safe to be in that stadium with all those women and all those women that work for him? How can he be someone's boss who's a woman that works under him if he's not safe to be around the women that play for our club?
I mean, yeah, I agree. Someone's just said here, and this is I mean, listen, on the surface of things, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna try not to be rude, Iceman. Watch Panorama, overhyped bullshit as far as I'm concerned. It's the tip of the iceberg, mate. You know, and I think there's a few people that have said that, and this today coming out today because of that. You know, you may think it's overhyped bullshit, mate, but you know,
read the articles. Read the articles.
You know, so much more is half an hour. They can't squeeze everything in a half an hour. They can only show what they can show. What, you know, listen, I'm not the greatest fan of the BB fucking C, to be quite honest with you. They're just as bad as fucking anyone, as far as I'm concerned. But you know, this is the new. You know, it's. What was going to say? You know, that is going to be the start. It's not the end of it. You know, and this today is that this is shocking. This is even more shocking than that. You know, for a Premier League club owner and how the press never found out about it. I mean, fuck me. We now know who's fucking leaking all of this fucking bullshit, all of this inside information, because this has never been fucking mentioned before. So we know who everyone's getting their fucking information from.
Yeah, that weren't leaked.
Yeah, I'll give you 3 fucking guesses.
How is that not leaked for 3 years? I mean, that's pretty big. That is pretty big. A pretty big deal. But that's what. So if you're disappointed by the Panorama documentary, the BBC articles, the Times articles, the Guardian articles go into so much more depth, and it's so much more harrowing. Right? So
there's more coming. And by their own admission, there's more coming out daily, you know. So
it's a thread that the media are now tugging at, and as you tug it all comes undone. And they smell blood now. The media, they've got a story, they've got something that's salacious that they're going to be going for. He was on the front page of every major newspaper today. So there's an impact there. This is big. People are saying, it's nothing, brush under the carpet, whatever. It's really not. And we could be coming very close to a point where they say, nah, he's got to sell his shares. And I think that's where it's going to get to. I think there's no way. It's untenable. If they was to come and do their investigation and say, no, he's perfectly fit to own a football club with a lot of vulnerable people working for it, completely fine. That would really, really reflect poorly. It was only this IFR was set up last year, 2025. So I think that this is a high-profile thing. If you're a new organization, you're just established, to justify your existence, you need action. You need something that you can say, yeah, we did that. So if they can go and get someone like Sullivan out, it's a big win for them as an organization. It's a big scalp where they can say, look, completely justify our funding. We went and saw someone that was unfit to own a football club, and we got him out. There we go. That's what we do. If they go and say, yeah, he's fine, he's safe, I don't think that will reflect well on them. So I think that they'll be really leaning towards trying to get him out. So there's an investigation going on. The police have come out and said Let me try and get the article because the police have come out and said they're appealing for more information, more. So the police haven't. People have said, there's nothing there. It's dropped. Like the police are appealing for more information. So don't think it's just a case of it's over. They're not done with this. The police are not done with this investigation. So according to this, here we go. He's obviously denied it. Prime Minister Keir Starmer's spokesman called the women's accounts harrowing. Metropolitan Police said it takes such allegations extremely seriously, and any information or evidence provided to police will be assessed and the appropriate inquiries carried out. The Department of Culture, Media and Sport said deeply concerning allegations must be treated with the utmost seriousness and investigated by relevant authorities. So this is big. This is very serious. And I think a lot more people will come forward now. And a lot more people will feel safe and comfortable to tell their stories now. And that's usually how it happens. It's a snowball effect, guys. This is
better say, you know, if this was going on in any other, so it's gonna. Sorry, I'm just getting a message through. If this was going on in any other business, in any other organisation, especially something that's as public as this, then the government would step in. And they need to step in. They need to make some investigations about what's going on here, because this is don't forget, right, under the surface of everything else, this is a publicly funded football club, a taxpayer-funded football club, for all intents and purposes.
Stadium is, yes.
Yeah. Well, it is. It is. They subsidise the rent for this, you know, and. Listen, they done the deal back in the day. I don't know who the fuck done the deal. Well, we do know who done the deal, but at the end of the day, this is of public interest. You know, this man that they're renting or basically giving this stadium to every month. Yeah. As for the last 3 years, been on the safeguarding list.
Yeah, that stadium is basically. I mean, we lease it, but it's public property.
It is. And it's public property.
If there are children there or women playing there, if the women play, he can't be there.
And they do play there.
Yeah,
you know. So yeah, you know, this all needs to go deep.
I don't think I think it's Etched Barley has asked, can they kick us out the stadium? I don't think so, because he's resigned. So because he's resigned, and if he is no longer owning the club,
mate, you have to go into the contracts of it.
Yeah, we haven't read the contract.
We have to go into.
But I don't think. I think the contract is with the club, not with David Sullivan. Now, with the club as an entity, have covered things, have covered things up and protected and swept things on. That might be a different situation if the club as an organization have found to be doing wrong. But I don't. This is my opinion. I haven't seen the contract. I don't think that that's something we have to worry about, because he has stepped down and he may get to the point where he's forced out. That that would be disastrous. As much as I hate the stadium, want to get out there, imagine we end up homeless. You know. So yeah, it's all really coming to a head, and I think these days been involved in this club are numbered. I think they're numbered. So we'll stay on top of just, you know, all the news coming out. But I think, mate, by the end of the month, I don't think he'll be at West Ham anymore. By the end of this month, I don't think he'll be a majority shareholder.
I'm just going to say I'm ashamed today to be a West Ham fan. Not for the players on the pitch, not for that, but to be honest, I'm ashamed to be a football fan, because this goes beyond football. This is not football. This goes beyond. This is real life, and you know, it's made me fucking sick to the stomach to read these things. You know, that these people are being safeguarded. You know, there's safeguarding issues, and they're still allowing people like that to run these football clubs. I mean, fuck me. You know, fuck me. There's some fucking dodgy characters in the Premier League. But I feel sick to the stomach today. I really do. Reading these things, I feel sick to the stomach. You know, these are not football issues. These are real life issues. You know, these are people. I know victims of abuse. You know, I know victims of sexual assaults. I know them personally. And when you think to yourself that these people are wandering, listen, I know they're distant accusations, but there must be serious enough for them to put him on a list to safeguard him from them sort of things. You know, and to know that they're letting people like that walk around the stadium when they feel like there's enough evidence or there's enough to step in and say, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. It makes me feel sick.
The thing is, it's the fact that they've hidden it for so long, kept it quiet. I think we have a right to know. I think people have a right to know.
Exactly it. It's exactly it. We want to know why they feel like it's what's the word? Appropriate to keep him away from these things, and we should know that. And we want to know why they took the decision at the time. Now I want to know why they didn't think that the public should know.
That's what I'm saying. The public have a right to know. If we've got someone that runs a football club, a very, large and powerful football club, is on has safeguarding issues, we have the right to know. So the fact that they hid that for so long, I think is poor. I think that's extremely poor and disgusting. And I think Karen Brady, she may think she has nothing to answer for. She has a lot to answer for. She is a key witness in the case, because you work with someone for that long. I think it's reasonable for people to expect you may have some inside information. So if anything goes to trial, she should definitely be on the stand. But in the investigation, I think the police need to be talking to her and questioning her. What did you know? What did you know? And obviously, she's going to deny everything. But this is someone that's in the House of Lords. She works for the BBC. She works in the Sun. If I'm the BBC, I'm sacking her off The Apprentice. I'm sacking her off her column in the Sun, and she should get her out the House of Lords unless she can really come up with something compelling.
You're joking, ain't you? Them two are the worst fucking for it all. Absolute fucking.
Well, no, I'm just saying what should happen. That's just my
opinion. But company keeps company, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I can't speculate on David Gold, right, Andy? David Gold passed away, I think, before this safeguarding situation anyway, so he's not involved in that. Like Karen Brady, right? I will say this: he had worked with David Sullivan for over 40 years, like well into the early 70s. So there's not many people that would have had an intimate knowledge of David Sullivan than David Gold, working that closely together through the adult industry, through to Birmingham City, through to West Ham United. He knew the man he was in business with. If you're a businessman, you know who you're in business with. No two ways about it. So I'm not casting any guilt or legal issues on David Gold. I'm just saying, in my opinion, he knew the man that he was in business with, and that's just my opinion. But I can't say if he was involved in anything or anything like that. He's not been accused, and that's the important thing. Like with David Gold, like no one's accused him of anything. He's been in that industry a long time, and no one said anything about him. All I'll say is that he knew the sort of man I think that David Sullivan was, not that he's done anything wrong himself. But a lot of people, and that Tony, what's his name? Lynch. What's that fucking mug's name that worked for him at the start? It's now on the BBC. And he's been questioning him. Yeah, someone will say it he works for Radio 5 Live. In my opinion, sack him again for legal. I'm not saying he's done anything illegal, but some of the stuff that he come out with and people said about him in that documentary, Livesky. Yeah. I think he needs to be
Tony Livesky.
He needs to look into that, be looked into and things like that. So, but yeah, I mean, that's why I kind of wanted, because I was just astounded by that from the club side of things and the FA. And the FA really have egg on their face today, and they need to be really doing something to rectify this
Well,
situation.
I don't know what the fucking the status of the FAR is. Like, who appoints the FA? I'm assuming they're just a governing body. I don't really know the ins and outs of it. But if someone can step in, because if this was any other business in the UK, right, and I'm assuming this is run as a business and not for profit, and even if it's not for profit, even worse. But why aren't people stepping in and stopping this from happening? It should not be allowed. Full stop. Full stop. It shouldn't be allowed to withhold things like that. When withholding him or keeping him away from these things because of safeguarding issues, yet allowing the man to walk around freely when there's women employees, when there's children attending, and in his in his place of work, which there is. We've all been up to them corporate boxes. I mean, I've took my fucking kid up there, to be honest. You know what I mean? Not to the director's box or anything, but it's fucking very close. It's right next to the director's suite. What's to stop them from fucking bumping into each other on the fucking on the terrace? There isn't anything.
I mean,
it's no, it's not good, mate. It's how is it being allowed? You either stop people from going there. If it was anyone else, they'd stop people from going there, or they'd stop him from attending. They'd turn around and go, "You're not allowed in that place of business at all."
He stood down to Tony Livesley stood down from his role on 5 Live, and too right and all. Do you know what? And I agree. Simon Jordan was shocking on this. Yeah, it was the same Simon Jordan. I don't want to defend David Sullivan, but I'm going to defend it. The thing about Simon Jordan, and I think he's very compelling at what he does. Right, I like a lot of what he does. He's very entertaining. However, he's very good at sounding informed on something he's not informed about.
Yeah, got a fucking clue.
The extent of his knowledge on this, he watched the Panorama documentary. He didn't read any of the articles. He didn't brush up on any of the other background. He watched the documentary and was like, well, it's a load of accusations that have no evidence. And, that's what the industry was like back then. And I remember the 80s and it was all like that. That's the basis of his analysis. And he's very articulate, so he can sound like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, well, that's the thing you get with him. That's the thing about him, is he says a lot of fucking posh words. And it sounds like he knows what he's talking about. He's just a clown. He's out there the other day calling everyone else clowns, like the AFTV lot. Listen, whatever you think about AFTV, we're in that industry. They're not fucking clowns. They're fans of the football club. People that care about it. People are going to be there left, right, and centre. People that are supporting these football clubs, right? He ain't got a clue. All he worries about, all he thinks is important, is the people that he knows around him. That's it. That's all he thinks that are important. And when it comes down to these sort of things, he ain't got a fucking Scooby. He's not in that circle anymore.
No.
He may have dealt with him in the fucking past, but so has a lot of fucking Daily Sport readers, I guess, when they're fucking sending him for mail orders.
He doesn't do his research before he talks on these things, and I've been on with him a couple of times, I've had it out with him a couple of times. And like I said, he's good at making it sound like he knows what he's talking about, but he's very ill-informed. And that's what I said when he was on about the stadium and he acts like, what it's going to cost this. I said, you don't know all the price of and the value of land all around fucking East London. That's why, I didn't say fucking, but I said that to him. But he acts like he knows everything. And that's why he was so poor. I think some people was expecting like, okay, now you're going to stick the boot into him, aren't you? Now the man that you don't like to defend, who you always defend, you're going to stick the boot in. And he gave what was like basically another defense of, circumstantial. These women, he had a pop at the women, the accusers. He had a pop at them and said, the 80s, it was all like that, countdown to birthdays. And
if that's true, then I haven't seen any of that. Then he should be reprimanded and he should be chucked off TalkSport. You can't be saying things like that.
That's what he said. So yeah, like I said, all it would have took for him was to look at that, because I want to know now, was he going to think about the fact that he was deemed unsafe to be around our children and our women at this football club? I want to know what he thinks about a lot of these aspects of this article that's come out. I want to know what he thinks about the fact that these allegations in his mind that are so empty, so baseless, right, were big enough and strong enough to cause Sullivan to resign. If Sullivan wasn't concerned about what's coming, he would have just carried on business as usual. If it was, this is what blows my mind, right? And somebody supposed to be as intelligent as Simon Jordan sits there and goes, well, if that's all they've got, Sullivan won't bother him at all. Why did he resign? What, on the threat of something? Because if you think they've got something that they haven't got, well, then that sounds like a guilty conscience, in my opinion. He was worried enough for him to step down. So a lot of people talking about Jim White, like, where is he? Because he's been off. But I don't know whether Jim White, it's just he happened to be taking time off because they've had someone else off. Be very interested to see Jim White.
Listen,
and he should be holding people accountable, and he needs to get Simon Jordan back on that, and he needs to hold himself accountable and hold other people accountable for, really giving him a smooth ride.
I'll say this as well. I'm going to say this right now. Jim White probably, like the rest of us, probably didn't have a fucking clue. Not everyone knows what they fucking do. Same as Sean Weston. I've seen where Sean went, but this is Sean Weston, right? And Sean, as I said before, as a person, I've got no problem with Sean, but I have a big problem with him about what he does. And I've called him out on it many, many times. And he's been on his show and I've called him out on it to his face. So I wouldn't say anything behind his back that I wouldn't say to his face. And what I would say is this: in the 3 days since this has all come out, Sean Weston has been nowhere to be seen. That cunt, as every day, would be down your throat pushing this fucking propaganda that Sullivan's feeding to him. And he's told me that himself. And he's told Dan as well. This ain't, what do you call it, like hearsay. This is fact. He's told us this. This is where he gets his information from. Yeah. For 3 days, nowhere to be seen. Where's the lies? Where's the proper? Where's the condemnation? Where is it? You've sat there. Oh, he's blocked me. There you go.
Oh, because of what you posted the other day, wasn't it?
Look, he's blocked me.
What did you say again? Have you got it? The tweet, because I want to know. That's what he blocked you for. Tweet.
Yeah, I've told him.
Can you?
I won't say it out on there. But
was it that strong? If it was strong, If it's strong, too strong for you to say on here, then I'm not surprised he's blocked you.
No, it wasn't that strong.
Well, you won't want to repeat it. It's got to be that strong if you can't.
Well, no, I don't want to repeat because I don't know whether it's libel or not, Dan. You know what I mean? I don't know whether it's.
Well, you maybe if you're worried, it might be libel.
I don't want to say it. You find it. If you want to say it, you say it.
Oh, all right. Because I think if we're talking about the fact that he's blocked you, I think it's people want to know, like, why has he blocked you?
It's out there to see. Oh, he's still following the account, but he's blocked me personally.
Bloody hell. Do you know any more alleged, so he said alleged, sex offenders in the club who gave you inside info as long as you pushed the rest of his bullshit down our throats, or is that you done? Oh, safe to say you might not be coming back on the channel. Wow. That's strong.
I'll be honest with you, mate. With what's going on, with the fact that he's been in contact with this man, with the fact that now he's gone missing, he was all right to shove it all down our throats when he wanted it. This other guy wanted it shoved down your throat and my throat, and all the lies told. Now the chickens have come home to roost. And listen, I've said some bad things to that man, bad things, to his face. And you've been there when I fucking said it.
Oh, yeah. That's probably the strongest, though. That's strong,
it's strong, Dan, but it's the truth. And that is what I'm saying. That is 100% the truth. He has got to be held accountable. He has sat there for years and pushed that fucker's propaganda down our throats, wound our fan base up. Yeah.
But I think it's important to say, like you said, you're right, but like, there's nothing that he's done wrong in terms of, like, he had no knowledge of what.
No, I'm not.
However,
Right.
What he should do, if this is what he should have done, Sean, right, in the wake of this, is I've defended this man in the past. I can't defend him anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
That's what I'm saying. Be accountable. Be accountable. Yeah. You need to come out and condemn him. You know, you've taken favors off the man for years. And do you know what? Somebody fucking clip this up and send it to him, because obviously I can't anymore. You've been taking favors off this geezer for years and years and years, right? Now it's your time to come out and turn around. You're done, ain't you? That's why you don't want to do it, because your fucking business and your social media presence, right? Because you've been taking favors off of him, you're done. You're finished. There is no more inside information for Sean Whetstone, you know? And because I called him out on it, after all of the shit, you know, it was all right when the shoe was on the other foot and he's sitting there giggling about how wound up we're getting. Where are you now, Sean? Where are you? You've gone fucking missing. When your little pal has got questions to answer, now you've gone fucking missing. That says everything, not just about him. That says everything about you, because you are well happy to be pushing his shite down everyone's throats, down my throat. I'm not an in the know. I'm not a person that took favors off the geezer. I've never had anything to do with a man. You have. You've been in personal contact with a man. Now it's time for you to stand up and turn around and go, yeah, this man's a cunt. That's what you've got to do. You've got to stand up and fucking be held accountable for yourself. Not go missing and hide behind a fucking rock, the one that you slithered from behind from. You know, it's time for you to stand up now and fucking be a man and at least admit that you may have misjudged the geezer, that you shouldn't have been in contact with the geezer, that you shouldn't have been shoving his shit down everyone's throat. That's what you've got to do. You're a fucking scumbag. And that fact that I've just found out that you blocked me now, I'm going to come fucking looking for you next year, and I'm going to ask you to your fucking face. That's what I'm going to do. As soon as I fucking see you, Sean, you've got some questions to answer. And I'm going to, don't worry, this is not threats of violence. This is threats of, I'm going to have these all fucking round me, recording your fucking answers, because you need to answer for it. There you go.
Yeah.
And somebody fucking clip it and send it to him.
Yeah, no, I would have respected him if I would have respected it to come out and say, you know what, I was wrong to ever defend him. This is horrendous. Some of the stuff that he has admitted to, like I said, because you can sit there and say, well, none of it's been proven. Like sometimes you just gotta use your moral compass, you know, and trust your judgment. And as a man, he must be able to look at that and say, yeah, this ain't right. And I would respect him, but he's not been seen, you know, and that's, I think, it to other people it looks wrong. It looks wrong that it looks like he's hiding in the wake of all of this. The last thing he posted was about him standing down, and the thing about what his legal representatives made. The last thing he posted was a statement from his legal representatives. I mean, that's crazy. The last thing he's posted was a statement from Sullivan. And it was obviously a public statement, but that don't look good. That don't look good. It's the last thing is a statement where he's saying these are baseless accusations and all that stuff. That's the last thing Sean posted. That don't look good, Sean. And you've gone missing. You was like, right, here's his statement where he says he's not done anything wrong and it's all baseless and it's unfair. Peace out. Come on. And like the documentaries come out, the articles have come out, this safeguarding things come out, and he's nowhere to be seen. All of this, nothing, crickets. So we'll see. He hasn't blocked me yet, so I'll keep an update on if he rears his head back up. So
I honestly, I feel sick.
Yeah,
these people make me sick to the fucking stomach.
I know, mate.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's sitting there. Just imagine him. Just imagine him listen, we'll fucking dig the clip out this week, I'm sure, about when he said, I don't even want to get the geezer involved now. But, you know, when you just imagine all the times we've pressed him on these things. We've had him on podcasts. We've had him on these shows here. And he's sat there with a little smirk telling you how close he is to people there and how fucking much that you know, they share emails and they exchange emails. Where is he now? Where is he now? Where is he now telling everybody, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I apologize to everyone. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I misjudged the man. Nowhere to be fucking seen. Hiding behind in his little fucking. No, don't. Oh, fucking makes me sick.
You got that fucking rich energy rat still out there, flipping, defending him out in the wake of all of it. And
Fuck him. I don't know that geezer from Adam.
He's endless. He's endless. Like nearly every tweet, constantly defending him. It's madness.
Never had anything to do with that man. Never wanted anything to do with him. Never had anything to do with him. Never accepted any offers from anyone. Nothing. Our on this channel, our moral was to always stay with the fans, because we're not people that want to get inside the fucking club, not people that want to fucking use this as a platform to springboard myself to be working for the club. Never wanted any of that. The only thing I've ever been interested in, and we've ever been interested in, is the fans and the fans' opinions, because they will try, and they have tried for years and years and years, to shut you up. That's why we made this platform. Me, Dan, Ryan, Scott, and Graham. Yeah, I don't want to name them if they don't want to be named, but that's who started this channel. And it always the point of this channel wasn't to springboard ourselves into West Ham fucking royalty so we get invited to boxes and get invited to fucking corporate dues. It was to stand outside with the fans, stand on the terraces with the fans, and to fucking tell them what you think of what's going on there without them fucking silencing it. That is all that we ever done. And for 10 years, 11 years now, whatever we've been doing, that's all we've ever done. I've never took a bit of information off the man. I've never took a gift off the man. I've never took anything from that club. I've always paid for my tickets. I've always paid for my travel. Anything I've ever done, I've always paid for my fucking shirts. Even when I bought one of them. Yeah, I've never took a favour. Never, not once. Not once. None of these boys, none of these 5 boys on this channel here have ever had anything to do with anyone there, because I wasn't interested in that. I was interested in what we had to say. What we had to say. Now, the people that have taken it should be held accountable, not go missing.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. I'll say this, right? This is what the funny thing is what this geezer says. I'll just read this. So Panorama showed their viewers that David Sullivan is a very successful man who likes women and respects the law. His libel lawyers will clean up given the salacious and defamatory headlines. This is the guy that used to be anti-Sullivan. But he respects the law so much he got banged up for 3 months for being a pimp. That's how much he respects the law, David Sullivan. Harry with a £2 super chat. Do you think Sully will sell his shares? If he's not forced to, I think he would do it voluntarily. I think with all of this coming out, I think he'll just want to have nothing to do with the club, distance himself, and try to be out of the public eye while he tries to deal with this situation. I can't see him being a majority owner or any sort of shareholder potentially by July. I think the IFR will, after this, the safeguarding issues and all of this has come out, and the articles to come, I think they're going to deem him unfit to own the club, and I think he will be forced out, which is a good thing, because then his shares are going to be worth very little. This is a man, along with Karen Brady, that valued this club around £1 billion not too long ago. He valued these shares highly, and now he's going to get bargain basement prices.
I'll be honest with you, Dan. I don't care whether he gets £1 for him or he gets £1 billion for him. I don't care. I just want him away now. I just want him disassociated with this club. I don't care what he gets from. I don't care what he sells them for. He just needs to go.
Well, the reason, I mean, I care because the problem was with the prices he set his shares at, no one was ever buying them. This is why. So there's been no.
Well, he'll be forced to now, won't he? Regardless.
Yes, this is it. He priced people out of buying the shares. No one was going to pay that for a club that don't even own its own land. So now he's going to be forced out, and that is a good thing. So I'm saying, and listen, I'm not an expert or anything. This is my opinion. My opinion, by July, or at the very least, by the time the World Cup's over, at the most, he will not be majority shareholder of West Ham United anymore. Whether it's Kretinsky, whether it's a Steve Lee, whether it's someone was telling me potentially Trip Smith going to get American investment, which I'm very and ahhing over, if that's a good thing. Yeah, I think the clock is ticking. And I said this on, I put a video on All Us Live from TalkSport. I think we're very close to having our club back, you know, and we'll never get Upton Park back, but we can get something back, you know, a piece of our identity back that was ripped away, and we can get some hope back. We go into a new season. Sullivan is not, whatever happens with Sullivan, he is no longer the chairman. New start, new players, and we go again, and we have some optimism. A dark cloud being lifted over this football club, so that's something. And so let's look up and onwards with the football club. Like Coral says, clock's ticking.
Yeah,
clock's ticking. Bring the car. That's one of the things that, by the way, the first things that the current board can do is get the badge, get the old badge back. Just a simple little thing. There you go. Is going into the new shirt coming out. Bang. Already easy thing. Get the fans on side in the wake of this. We're no longer West Ham United London anymore. The team that what Sullivan said he'd never change our name to, and he did. So yeah, get some people in. We've got all these players that apparently getting bought. We've got no one to do the deals, which is funny. So we need to sort that out.
And go and check out my video from this morning.
Yes,
because that rattled a couple of West Ham Man United fans.
Man United fans.
Go and have a look at it. Funny.
Yeah,
they're fucking money the way they go on.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. So yeah. Go and check that out. So we're going to be staying on these updates, whether it's the ownership situation or whether it's the transfer situation, whatever's happening in West Ham, we will be updating regularly, daily on this channel. So stay tuned, like I said. And it's I think the darkest days are behind us at this football club. So upwards and onwards, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Do check out OK Jersey. Get your World Cup shirts in. 15% off now. Someone I saw a comment. Someone said there are like other OK Jersey sites.
Apparently there's a fake one.
There's a fake one. okjersey.com. Not jerseys. Not jerseys S or anything. Not OK like OK as it's spell it exactly as it is here. Use the code. 15% off.
You know what that is? Do you know what it is? Because somebody said that the codes work on there as well.
Yeah. Make sure that the URL.
Yeah, you don't want to do that because the quality of the shirts are not going to be as good as these. Yeah. But you know, the reason why they do that is because these invest so much money into supporting creators. They've got so much. So these are just chances that are selling you subpar goods and using all of their advertisement to do so. So that just go to the one that we've got there.
I'll put the link in the description. So everyone can, if you're unsure, there it is, okjersey.com. Okay, right, I'll have to do it on YouTube. Plonker with a £5 super chat. Thanks for streaming, gents. Thanks for watching, everyone.
I picked up one of these the other day. Look at this, a 2019 brand new shirt with tags.
Thought you already had one.
I do, but I picked one up because it's the first one I see in a bag. It doesn't fit me because I've picked the wrong fucking size.
I might do a giveaway.
I might sell a couple of these bits and pieces that I've picked up. I've picked up quite a few retro things that ain't quite my size.
There we go. Right, I'm going to stick the link in the description for this OK Jersey link just so everyone's sure. But if you're ever in doubt, just make sure that URL. We did have a QR code. I don't know where that's gone. But just make sure the URL matches the spelling.
Yeah, somebody says this is a goalkeeper. It is a goalkeeper top from I think last year.
Last year's one, is it?
I think so. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, never been in goal in my life. Well, I have in the old days, but don't know why I bought it. I just quite liked the yellow. Like to change.
Yeah. So yeah, listen, if you're flying out to the World Cup, go and enjoy it. You know, or wherever you're watching in the world, enjoy it. You know what I mean? We'll be obviously talk a bit about that as well. But obviously, we're mainly going to be focusing on West Ham. Even though it's the World Cup, the news is going to come thick and fast. It's going to be a busy summer. This is a time of massive change for the club. So, let's It'll keep on top of it. So thank you so much for watching. I thought this was a longer stream than I thought it was going to be, but it flew by. So thank you all so much. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll probably catch up with you all tomorrow on the channel. So one thing left to say. Come on, you irons.